Welcome to We Don't Have Cookies with your host, Jason Marshall.
Hey everybody, thanks for downloading the show. I'm going to be doing some old school things that I haven't done for a while today. Since I don't have a guest this week, I'll be bringing back Sweet or Psychotic, this week's Dumbass of the Year, and maybe an old segment or two during the break. We'll see. So let's jump right into it. I haven't done this in at least a year. It's Sweet or Psychotic. I used to do this with a guest, but since I don't have one today, I'm going to leave it up to you to make the decision. I'm going to talk about a news story that sounds like a really sweet thing to do, but at the same time, seems a little psychotic. This happened in Texas. A guy proposed to his longtime girlfriend at the end of a 15-mile bike ride. They go cycling at least twice a week, so it's a big part of their relationship. What he did at the end of the trip is he got on one knee, got out his phone, pulled up an app that tracked their trip, and the path they took spelled out "Marry Me" on the map. It took some thought to plan out the route and remember it so it wouldn't get messed up, and it is something that includes their favorite pastime, so that's pretty sweet of him, but it seems a little nuts to ride on a bike for an hour and a half, which is how long he said it took just to propose. And his fiance said that while they were riding, she was getting really annoyed with all the crazy turns they did. And he's pretty lucky they didn't get into an argument and just blow the whole thing. To me, I think it was a little much, but I think I'm going to go with this actually being something sweet. Let me know what you think. Send me an email, jason@wedon'thavecookies.com, or go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/wedon'thavecookies, and hit that message button. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching Saturday Night Live, and they did a sketch about two news anchors on a nightly news show, and they were talking to a correspondent who was in a place that was getting overtaken by a terrorist organization. The only way the correspondent could do the video call with the people in the studio was to do it over Snapchat. A bomb explodes, he drops his phone, it shatters a screen, and he can't see himself on the phone, and he doesn't realize that what happened was he accidentally turned on the bunny ears filter, and now he's talking about this serious situation where he may die any minute looking like a rabbit. I thought it was hilarious. I loved it. And I said all of that to set up this week's Dumbass of the Year. I haven't done this in a while either, but this week's Dumbass of the Year goes to whoever is running British Columbia Royal Canadian Mounted Police's Facebook live stream. They held a press conference to talk about an American and an Australian who were murdered while on vacation there. It's a pretty serious topic, and there was a woman by herself behind a podium talking about it. As it was live streaming on Facebook, they didn't know that the cat filter was turned on. So while the lady is talking about this double homicide, she has cat ears and whiskers with a cat nose. The only way they knew what was going on was because a reporter contacted them on Twitter to let them know. They cut the feed and re-recorded the press conference. And that is why whoever is running their Facebook live stream is this week's Dumbass of the Year. Last Friday was National Ice Cream Day. Last week, during the Strange Days portion of the show, I said that my favorite ice cream sandwich was ham, Swiss cheese, and vanilla ice cream on rye bread. I was just joking around, obviously, but as unappetizing as that may have sounded, Oscar Mayer came out with their own ice cream sandwich, which definitely topped that. It has two vanilla cookie looking ends, and in between is spicy mustard ice cream and bits of candied hot dog. Let that sink in for a second. They call it the ice dog sandwich. I just said what it's made of, but I still can't imagine what that would taste like. Spicy mustard ice cream does not sound good, and candied hot dog pieces sounds even worse. But you never know. It might be amazing. I would be willing to try it. I've eaten just about everything there is out there. And as a matter of fact, I sent them an email to see if they would send me one to eat for the show. I really doubt they will, but if they do, I might live stream it, eating it live so you can see how it goes. Maybe I'll do it on Facebook with the cat filter on. I also heard that French's made a mustard-flavored ice cream that is out in select cities in the U.S. I just can't imagine who would enjoy that. But if you do, good for you. Not my thing. I'd try that too, but I don't think I could eat more than a spoonful of that. All right. I am going to play a fun fact segment by the Wood Enthusiast and a song by the Arrogant Worms, and I'll be back.
When I was a kid, I wanted to grow up and be a cop in a province, town, or county. I thought it would be great if someday I could only ever be a Mountie. I wanted to beat up crooks and make arrests because that's part of the profession. But now I sit on my horse and tell American tourists the Parliament's in session. I really don't look good in red, and my stupid hat flies off my head in every parade. I'm young and strong and have no fear, but now I'm spending my career in motorcades. I want to enforce the law. I want to wear normal clothes. I don't want to have to smile for a diplomat's home videos. I'm good at working real hard. I should have joined the Coast Guard. Oh no, the RCMP is not the life for me. I used to think that a Mountie had to be honest, loyal, humble, strong, and thrifty. But even though we don't break ranks, we get no thanks. They took us off the $50 bill. On Sussex Drive in hallowed halls, we act like guards in shopping malls. It's such a pain. Like someone's plotting the assassination of the Minister of Sports and Recreation. Oh, that's insane. Sometimes I just want to puke on Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. Dudley Do-Right's such a jerk. Damn you, Snipey! And though he tries with all his heart, my horse couldn't catch a golfing cart. Some days I hate to go to work. I want to enforce the law. I want to wear normal clothes. I don't want to have to smile for a diplomat's home videos. I'm good at working real hard. I should have joined the Coast Guard. Oh no, the RCMP is not the life for me.
Hey, Mountie, where's your man? Haven't you got him yet?
Could you take my picture?
Your horse, French. What's your favorite episode of The Forest
Why
Rangers?
don't you ride a cow?
What state are we in? Where's the map?
Can you validate my parking?
Okay,
Well, let the queen tell them to shake hands. It's like up there. Did you ride in this car like the Shriners? Why does your cat look like
I want to enforce the law. I want to wear normal clothes. I don't want to have to smile for a diplomat's home videos. I'm good at working real hard. I should have joined the Coast Guard. Oh no, the RCMP is not the life for me. I want to enforce the law. Oh no, it's not the life for me. I don't want to have to smile for a diplomat's home videos. Oh no, it's not the life for me. In the RCMP. RCMP.
It's facts. Wouldn't you like to know all things about wood?
Hello again, Larry Woodstone here from the Wood Enthusiast community, doing a little bit of fun facts for you on today's episode. We wanted to share with you the difference. There's kind of two main tree types. A lot of people don't know this, but there's coniferous and deciduous. Coniferous and deciduous. So sometimes you're going to be confused as to what, which is which. That people say which is which. And the best way to remember coniferous is that it produces a cone. Coniferous. Things like pine trees and fir and spruce are softwoods, but they're coniferous trees, where deciduous produce leaves in this case. Okay, so just remember coniferous.
Do you love all things wood? Follow the Wood Enthusiasts at Wood Enthusiasts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube.
This is Anthony Scaramucci, former White House Director of Communications. You are listening to We Don't Have Cookies.
Want to contact the show? Send an email to jason@wedon'thavecookies.com or call 929-266-9342 and leave a voicemail.
I'd love to hear from you. I'll have the contact info in the show notes. Keep sending in the emails and the messages. It really does make my day. I've heard from a few people who think my tree planting has gotten out of hand. I replied to them that I've been planting this for around 10 years. I think I talked about this the other day, but yesterday I was going through some old papers and I found some of the original plans for the house where I had a diagram of where I wanted all these trees that I came up with about 10 years ago. I thought that was pretty cool, but I'm not the only one who has been getting into planting trees. Last Monday in Ethiopia, they planted 353 million trees in 12 hours. Ethiopia started a Green Legacy Initiative back in May, and their goal is to plant 4 billion new trees by October. And they've planted 2.6 billion so far. So I never want to hear from anybody ever again that I'm obsessed with trees and it's gotten out of hand. Start sending your emails to Ethiopia's Minister of Innovation and Technology, who is obviously obsessed because he's in charge of the Green Legacy Initiative, even though he's supposed to be working on technology and innovation. But they are working on getting the planting event recognized by the Guinness World Records, which brings me to a man named David Rush. He just won a new Guinness World Record. I said a new record because this isn't his first one. He won one for fitting the most blueberries in his mouth and for balancing a running lawnmower on his chin. I'll have a video of that up on the website, wedon'thavecookies.com, or you can see it on the podcast Facebook page, facebook.com/wedon'thavecookies. I'll have links to those in the show notes. This time he won a record for stacking 30 bars of wet soap. The old record was 21 bars, so he crushed it. The rules required each bar to be smooth and soaked in water for 1 minute before he tried to stack them. David said he grew out his fingernails to help him get a better grip on the soap. The soap stayed stacked for 5 seconds before it fell. And when I was a little kid, we used to have book fairs every year at school where a company would come in with a bunch of different books that we could buy. And I was always fascinated with the Guinness World Records books. Most of records seem pretty silly, but I kind of like that. And I've had a former Guinness World Record holder on the show before. If you remember Odilano Zare, go check out that episode. It's actually titled Odilano Zare, so it should be easy to find. I've reached out to David to see if he would be a guest on the show. I want to talk to him more about balancing a running lawnmower on his chin than anything else. And who knows, maybe one day I'll fly him out to Marshall Manor and he can use my blueberries to try to break his record of the most blueberries in his mouth. And now it is time for this week's weather with Frankie MacDonald.
We don't have cookies. Be prepared.
Frankie, what is the weather going to be like this week in the United States starting on Monday?
It's going to be a change of thunder showers and thunderstorms in southern states. It's going to be battle between warm air and cool air and thunderstorms at the same time all next week and the week after. Then we got the cool air cooling all the way down to southern states as well.
What's it going to be like up there in Canada?
It's going to be cooler, warm air fighting each other, same as the United States and Western Canada too. Because it's getting a solar summer and tomorrow on August 5th, 2019, August 5th to August 7th, that's the end of solar summer. It's nothing to do with the weather. It's a daylight length. Then a meteorological fall starts on September 1st, and astronomical fall starts on September 23rd.
What's the weather going to be like in the UK?
Over in the UK, it's going to be warm and cool air fighting each other as well. And Australia is in the second half of the winter now. Then we got a big hailstorm headed for South Korea on Wednesday. In Asia.
Any other weather around the world that people should be aware of?
It's going to be a lot of flooding in South Korea, Seoul, South Korea. That's the main threat.
And can you tell listeners who Ernesto Acosta is?
Ernest Acosta is a tattoo. he got a tattoo of my face on his left leg.
I wanted to have him on the episode I did for your birthday. Unfortunately, he didn't get my message, but he did contact me the other day and said that he will be on the show this month.
Yes.
All right, Frankie, you have a GoFundMe. Is that right?
Yes, Jack Casey, guy around the Bass Guy Show, started that. And that means you're going to share GoFundMe.
The GoFundMe is for a laptop?
Yes.
All right, and where can they find the GoFundMe? What should they search for?
That means I sent you the link yesterday.
All right, and I will have that in the show notes. Frankie, where can people find you online and buy your merchandise?
FrankieActionFigure.com, that's one. Amazon.ca is another. And talking Frankie down Bobbleheads on National Bobbleheads Hall of Fame. The Lost Cause, Frankie Says Be Prepared t-shirts.
All right, Frankie, I want to thank you very much for being on the show. I'll talk to you soon.
I sent you a link last night about GoFundMe, about the laptop.
Okay, I'll have to look for that. I didn't see it come through, but I'll make sure I have that on the show.
I'm Frankie MacDonald. We are listening to We Don't Have Cookies.
All right, and as you just heard, Frankie does have a GoFundMe for a new laptop. I will have a link to that in the show notes. I had no idea he sent me that link, so I just looked and it is right there. You know how I am with social media, guys. I try to reply to everybody who sends me a message. If I have not replied to a message or a DM or an email, whatever you've sent me, just send it again because I try to reply to everybody. And there's just one last thing to do, and that is go over this week's Strange Days. If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, Monday, August 5th is Work Like a Dog Day, so make sure you lick and bark at all your coworkers, and let me know how that goes for you. Tuesday is Fresh Breath Day, which will be easy for me because I'm going to the dentist, oddly enough. And Wednesday is Lighthouse Day. I have nothing for that one. Thursday is Relaxation Day, which sounds amazing, and I think I might seriously be celebrating that one. Friday is Book Lovers Day, so break out your favorite book and make sweet, sweet love to it. And try not to get the pages sticky. Saturday is Lazy Day, which seems like the same thing as Relaxation Day, but I guess there's a big difference between relaxing and just being lazy. And finally, Sunday is Son and Daughter Day, which seems kind of pointless since everybody is or has a son or daughter. This month is going to be a lot of fun. You heard me talk earlier about a few people who may be on the show this month, but also UFC Hall of Famer Ken Shamrock contacted me last week and asked if he could be on the show, so that'll be happening sometime soon. We haven't worked out a specific date yet. Former wrestler Sid Vicious called me last week and we talked about him being on the podcast, so hopefully that'll be happening soon too. We've been talking about this for at least a year now, so who knows, but I really hope that happens. A few other people have reached out to me too, so there should be plenty of people on this month, unlike this week. Next week, Elena Davies and Cummy D will be on the podcast. I have no idea what to expect with that one. All I know is it's going to be explicit and it will be fun. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode. I'll talk to you next Monday.
Thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show and leave a review. See you next time.
If you do, good for you.